Episode is this?
This is episode 16, I believe.
I hope we start this way because you just hit the record button
Yeah.
as I asked that question.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Bros, Brews, and the Basement
Podcast.
I like
Corey's new haircut.
Yeah, you like my new haircut? I did have a hat on before this, but we had to nix it because it had green on the rim, and it was fucking up with the green screen, which hopefully, if you're watching this video, it's perfect now. Which it hasn't been for 16 episodes,
There
but
we go.
16 is the magic number.
So this is episode 17.
No, 16.
Oh, so
Well,
it,
we had
it
15.
hasn't been good for
It hasn't been good for 15 episodes.
It's going to be perfect for one,
Yeah.
which is number 16.
That's
Hopefully.
the one. That's the one.
Hopefully.
The magic number, apparently, for the Basement Universe is 16.
Okay.
But yeah.
Which is news to me just
Yeah.
right now.
Just we figured that out right now. You're a part of it. Yeah, it's been a while since we've put out an episode here on the Bros, Brews, and the Basement, as well as the Basement Universe channel, period. Today I literally posted the first video in like 2 months or something like that.
Yeah, I think our last podcast was right before the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah.
And the NBA was in their conference finals, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right. And then we talked a little bit about I remember House of the Dragon also because it was in the title,
right?
Which I briefly looked at it earlier. It's the only reason why it came to my mind. And I think we talked
only
about
2 episodes in on.
Yeah, I think we had talked about
new season
wrestling injuries also on the previous episode. We talked about
with his
Edge,
double axe.
Yeah, which he's still
double axe handle.
still out. Probably will never be back again.
Double axe handle off the top of the cage.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we talked about a bunch of different wrestling stuff too. But anyways, that's the last episode. That's episode 15. So if you haven't checked that out, 41 of you have, please go and check it out though. But this is episode 16. Brand new episode, brand new content. We appreciate you joining us here today. And yeah, if you're not familiar with what we do here, we pretty much just kind of free pod. We don't really have a topic necessarily always specifically in mind. We just kind of come on here, rate beers with our Beer of the Week segment. This week, going to be a little different because
we're each having different stuff.
Yep. So we're doing something different for a change.
And full disclosure, I have had Rocket Pops by Twisted Tea before.
Me as well.
And
Have
you had the Arizonas?
Yes, I've had the Arizonas, so we pretty much just decided to do different ones.
Yeah.
And, there's 2 of each, so why not?
That was what was supplied. Previously, I would go out and get the beers, but I am now in full dad mode, so I just don't have I don't always have the time. I said to Kim today, I was like, it's very interesting how I'm off 3 and 4 days a week, and she's off the same days that I'm off.
Yeah.
But I still feel like we don't have a lot of time to get done what we need.
Of course not. There's never enough time.
But we're still off plenty of time, But it's just like shit happens, life happens, and that's why we have Rocket Pop in Arizona.
Yeah. I mean, I probably could have bought beer today, but I just was like, fuck it. Like, I have some in the fridge. I knew you said you were going to bring some, but, who would have thought it would be just kind of mixed and matched.
Right.
And obviously we have other stuff too, but we're not going to do Angry Orchard or anything like that.
Corey and Steve, who you know, because you watch all the videos on the channel.
Stevie!
And
comment, where's Steve?
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I do know. He's working. Steve, Corey, our friend Omar, who's also been on the channel, and Steve's girlfriend came over. We had an impromptu barbecue. Everyone brought their alcohol, filled our fridge with it, and then when you all left that night, we were like, we got to give them back their booze.
We're like, no, we can't.
It's taking up our fridge. We have no food in here, and we need food.
Yeah, exactly. That's a no-go.
So, hence my arrival with a Target bag and 3 different boxes of alcohol.
Hell yeah.
Angry Orchard, which is fine. Not my favorite.
Yeah,
Ciders
I haven't
my
really
favorite.
drank it in a while.
Truly, which is a great summer drink, just not what I'm trying to have.
Yeah.
And then the Twisteds.
Yep.
And I had Voodoo Rangers.
Hell yeah.
The Hoppy Pack Voodoo Ranger.
Love Voodoo Ranger.
I had 2 and was feeling like a champ.
Yeah, I got these actually from dog sitting for Finn, for Steve and Jamie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I could have chose Twisted Teas, but I was like, you know what? Let me choose the Arizonas just because I haven't had them really, so I wanted to give them a shot. It's a lighter tasting.
Honestly, I was a little underwhelmed with their regular tea pack.
Yeah.
They came
Do they
out
have different
with
ones?
They came out with other variants that I thought were better, but the original pack, like that's the regular.
Yeah, just like the regular iced tea lemon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was honestly a little underwhelmed.
It's so light that it like hardly feels like you're drinking an alcoholic beverage.
Right, which I mean, there are some people that want that, but to me, it's just the taste wasn't so great.
Yeah.
The Rocket Pops, however, very much am in favor.
I like all of the Twisted Tea flavors, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
And that whole mixed pack that they have out, every one of them is really great.
Yes, would agree.
All right, well, let's pour
So
these.
let's get going.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's pour these in.
I mean, to me, these are like, 8, 8.5.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you're not going to miss.
I would rate the Twisted Tea one higher, definitely, though, than the Arizona.
Yes.
I think the Arizona is still
Those are like
solid.
a 6.5 to me.
It's still pretty solid, but yeah, I mean, it depends on, as always, it's all subjective, so it just depends on what you like personally.
Yeah.
Like an IPA drinker regularly is probably not gonna want something like this unless you're feeling in like a more light mood.
Well, as we start to head towards the colder months, the ales are going to become more
look at the
my
color.
favorites.
Look at the color difference in our drinks. Honestly, doesn't mine look kind of disgusting?
Yes.
It looks like mud water. It looks kind of gross. Although when you lifted yours up to your shirt, now that the light's not to it, it was so dark. Look at how dark
look
it
at that.
looks.
You know what's interesting, though, is I feel like mine looks like the way iced tea should look like.
Yeah, yours has like a nice ambery color to it.
Yeah.
Whereas mine is just
yours
like
looks like it has sediment in it.
Yeah.
And it
Werewolf
looks
beer.
like the 6-pack that Eric brought to New Year's
It doesn't exist
10 years ago.
in Narnia anymore.
I think it's longer than 10 years ago, to be honest.
Yeah, I would say it's probably more at this point. It's hard to believe that we've been friends that long, that it's it's more than a decade, but at the same time I can totally believe it. Yeah. So yeah, as I was saying before, it's been a while since I posted on the channel. I pretty much just took a break from, editing and all that stuff. I think me and Steve had 2 videos still that I never edited. One of them is a Echo song with Tech 9. So that's coming at some point.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and the other one is the home team. So I just got back to editing. I started doing them today. I posted a Palmer Squares video today. That one was literally all done. All I had to do was make a thumbnal and post it, and I just never did. It's like after a while, you just get kind of tired of like coming home and like editing, especially if you're doing everything, yourself pretty much, as far as editing goes, because it could just be annoying.
It's like work after work.
Well, yeah, you get home from work and it's like you have whatever responsibilities you have at home, whether that's doing like laundry, cleaning, running errands after work, and then it's like I want to have fun. I want to be able to like sit down and watch a show or play a game. Yeah. And honestly, this because we talked about it already multiple times, but like I've been balls deep in the first Descendant, so yeah, I've been pretty addicted to that,
which I believe came up on the last podcast. I think
maybe
I think it did.
Maybe I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, I mean, the first like big expansion or like the season 1 is about to drop literally tomorrow. So yeah, I was kind of getting a little tired of grinding because again, it's like Destiny and Warframe and all those games where you have to grind constantly to get good gear and unlock new characters, unless you're just going to pay, which I am not going to do since it's free to play. But yeah,
keep it free.
Yeah, keep it free. That's what I'm all about. I'll put in the hours. But yeah, that's why I pretty much stopped editing and stuff. So maybe I'll start posting some gaming content like I keep talking about. At some point.
I mean, if you're balls deep,
in that game.
Put it.
Yeah, I'm balls deep in that.
You might as well throw a camera up.
But I probably will put out some stuff for Call of Duty when it comes out, because I will be very much playing zombies every day. for that.
Yes.
So I'm excited for that. COD Next is happening right now as well. Excited to see, the zombies live gameplay after, at some point tonight or tomorrow.
I think I am going to finally upgrade to a next-gen console.
Nice. Good decision.
Yeah, it's just at the point where there are games that I want to get.
You're gonna get a.
I think
Xbox?
I'm gonna do Xbox first. Yeah, what's funny is
I think it just makes sense for playing online.
Right,
for
and
you.
I have online for the Xbox for the next 11 months or something like that, whatever it is.
Yeah, now they switch it over to Game Pass Core
Right.
or whatever.
Right. So I think, but I need to research because I know for a while they included free Game Pass Ultimate with the purchase of the
new console.
X or S.
Yeah, Series
right?
X or S. Yeah.
So I just got to see. I'm not in a rush, but I've noticed there are new games that I want to play, and they're not coming out on the Xbox One anymore.
Well,
or the PlayStation 4.
Especially for 2025, that's
Right.
the year you want to get it.
Well,
because I
want NCAA
okay.
college football, which is not on the one. Gears 6, which we talked about,
Yep.
will definitely not be on
Yeah,
the
E-Day is
one.
coming out next year, and also GTA 6.
Right, which I'm grinding hard in GTA 5
I'm not
right
sure.
now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to make it for the other consoles. I mean, they might, but either way I think you want to play a game like GTA. If it's going to be anywhere near the level of success as 5, you're going to want to play it on next gen.
That's also the crazy part is you go into a live room right now in GTA 5.
People are probably hyped.
There are still full rooms.
Yeah. I did play online the
full
other day, just briefly, but
yeah.
some guy punched me outside the casino when I was trying to run in there. He was probably trying to get some money from me, thinking I didn't put it in my bank account already. What a fool.
What a fool. Oh, man. Yeah, so I'm probably going to upgrade. But I think what happened is, because I have a Best Buy credit card, but I think what happened was I got it and was like, I'm never going to use this, and shredded it. And then,
now you're like, well.
Right. Well, I was looking at buying a new console, and I was like, oh, I can finance through the Best Buy credit card. And they were like, great, this is your card number. And I was like, I don't have this card. So I recently just reported it as lost.
Nice. So they'll send you a new
they're
one.
going to send me a new one.
Smart.
Yeah. And there's no charges on my Best Buy account, so it's not like it's actually lost. I believe I shredded it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's a good decision.
Yeah, you could finance,
especially
pay,
for
I think for
within the
6
next
months
year.
or 12 months or something like that. I could pay it all at once. I just don't want to.
Yeah, so I had told you, since you were talking about GTA and playing and all the new content we talked about at the brewery last time. I hopped on, and it's funny, kind of it's playing the Xbox One version of the game. I'm like, I feel like it's slower.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like the movement and stuff is not as crisp.
Yeah.
I know that they made a new version of it for the Series X and stuff like that, but obviously you'd have to buy that version of the game, which
is ridiculous.
Which is I'm not, I think
it's
at one point they had so that you can. It was really cheap if you wanted to upgrade. It was basically $9 as opposed to $20
I already
or
bought
whatever.
the game.
Yeah,
Had it on the platform.
yeah.
Bought a new version.
They just got
almost all games just transition. But
they got a money
GTA
gouge.
doesn't.
Yeah, there are some games that offer
Come on,
you
Rockstar,
the
be
free
better.
upgrade. Cyberpunk did that for their game because it came out on PS4, and then you could get the free PS5 upgrade or Xbox Series X upgrade and whatnot. I think that may have been because of how bad the game was when it initially came out. But there are other games.
Cyberpunk had its issues.
Yeah.
For sure.
But there are other games that do the same thing where they offer you a free upgrade.
Right.
It just depends on the developers and the publishers, whether they're really money gouging you or they're just trying to boost up that player count, I guess, maybe if they're lacking.
I guess.
But GTA is not. they're not lacking in the player count.
No.
So
people regularly play GTA 5, me included. Within the last month.
I thought about doing the upgrade, and then I saw it was I think $20, and I was like,
No.
nah. If it was like $9, maybe I would do it.
Well,
I could just get it for free with the Microsoft Rewards
Staying
points.
on Rockstar, I wanted to get the first Red Dead.
Oh, yeah.
You were like, the first game's very
so
good as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I want to play it because I replayed the second. I replayed RDR2
like multiple
twice when I was home on paternity. And
it's like 3 times in total, though, right?
4, because I
played. 4, okay.
I played it. I always play my story modes twice. I always play it through just the storyline. I don't do too much side stuff. And then I replay and I try to 100% it.
Nice.
Though Red Dead.
I mean, that's a lot to.
There's no way, because there's so many missions in RDR2 that spawn when you're in a certain area at the right time.
Yeah.
Right? Like
those random side missions.
Right.
And shit.
Like something that spawns in Saint Denis is going to spawn in Saint Denis if you're in the right part of the game.
Like the Vampire Quest.
Right, which I've never done. Played it 4 times, never got it.
Up on here, yeah.
Right. So, though I've gotten the artist that likes to kiss Arthur and then get away on the boat, which is hilarious.
The French guy, right? The painter, yeah.
It's hilarious.
I think that was one of the last missions that I did before I stopped, playing the game. I remember that one specifically.
So where are we going? The cost of the original Red
the
Dead.
upgrades and
so
shit
I went to get the original Red Dead. It's been 12 years or something since the first one came out, maybe more. And I was like, oh, maybe it'll be like $10, $5, $30.
$30, yeah.
30 because it's refurbished or redone.
Remastered, probably.
Remastered is the word I was looking for. Refurbished is what they do for computers and shit. But
yeah.
That's why it's like, I'm not buying a game that's over a decade old for $30 just because it's remastered.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
They incentivize it much better if you never played any of the Red Dead games with the bundle. The bundle is basically the price of one game, I think, if you get
so what,
the deal
it's
for
$60 for 1 and 2?
For both of them, yeah. Or maybe a little less.
Which I would say Red Dead 2 is absolutely
it's worth it. It's worth it alone.
I've never played the first one.
Yeah.
It's
pretty much the same.
For not $30.
I was going to say, you get the same amount of content. There's a lot to do. The only difference really is, obviously the story's different. The characters, the person you play as is different and stuff like that.
You're John Marston.
But the online mode is totally different.
Right.
It's not like GTA where you actually make a character and you're living in the world. It's more along the lines of GTA 4. Where you get into a room and it's just kind of like a giant sandbox where you can just play. You pick an avatar and you play as that person. You're not creating your own person from scratch.
Right.
So.
Yeah, so
worth the play at some point.
Hopefully one of these days I get to play it. I'm not gonna play it for $30.
I would have
that's considering I had a $15 Xbox gift card.
Yeah, you easily could have.
It would have been $15. I could have, but $30 for a game that's over a decade old to me is
that is a lot of money. Yeah, that's basically Activision price gating their games nowadays. You want to.
Yes.
I was looking to just see what the prices were for some of the other Call of Duty games, even not World at War, Cold War, which came out in 2020, because I had it for PlayStation, but now I'm basically transitioning everything to Xbox since I'm trying to cut back on costs. So I don't really need a place to pay for PlayStation when I'm just going to keep my Xbox account and all that. So, but it's it's almost the price of a regular game, and I'm that game came out in 2020. I'm not going to repay for the whole thing again. Just
$60.
Yeah, just to pay for that. It's fine. I could live without it, and maybe at some point, you'll get Red Dead. I would have loved if it was remake as opposed to a remaster. That way
Right.
you get everything built in, like the new engine, modern day, you know.
Right.
Because there's only so much you can do with a remaster.
Yeah, they just they made it a little more crisp,
Yeah, frame
is
rates are
all.
probably better and whatnot,
Right.
but
but not worth it.
yeah, that's what
Yeah,
what
so-
I've been up to and why I haven't posted any videos. Too busy playing games and stuff
Yeah.
and just trying to enjoy life.
Enjoying life is important.
It is, yeah. I mean, not that I don't enjoy posting these videos and making the content for you guys, but there's a lot of work that goes into it.
And being happy is the most important thing in your life. Because if you're not happy, everything else just is going to be shit.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, it's just going to be shit. You're going to be unhappy in every facet of your life.
Yeah,
So,
and it's also summertime, so like, you know,
yeah.
spending time with you guys, you know, my buddies, you know, going to see movies. This is actually August has been the most I've gone to the movies in like years. Been saying
I
this
know.
like all month long, but like I've seen basically like 5 movies in the past month, that's a lot. I mean,
I know Kim enjoys going out on Tuesdays with you guys
yeah.
to see.
Honestly, it's like my favorite thing now.
Yeah, to see your horror films. You've seen.
We've
I
been
think
lucky.
You've done it 3 times, 4 times.
Yeah, well, let's see. What did we see? We just saw Blinktwice, which was phenomenal.
I heard it was very good. I wasn't
highly recommend going to see that movie without really looking into it too much, because going into a movie blind nowadays, I think, is just better.
there.
What
Yeah,
else?
don't even watch the trailer.
Yeah, they did a good job though of not really giving anything away, because the teaser that I saw was only like 20 seconds or 30
Okay.
seconds. So like that's a perfect like trailer for me. I don't need to see a 2-minute trailer. That's a lot of the movie.
Yeah.
What else did we see? What was the other movie we saw? Oh, Trapped.
Trapped.
Trap.
That's the Josh Hartnett
The Josh
one?
Hartnett one.
Okay.
Yeah,
With,
which was pretty good.
M. Night
With M. Night Shyamalan and
Schulman.
M. Night Schulman.
It's an
Yeah,
Office
his
reference.
daughter was in it as well.
Okay. Cool.
One of the jokes going around online was that he made the movie for his daughter, like as a birthday present. You know, like that's the only reason the movie got made, just so she could be the star in it.
Maybe.
But it was a pretty good movie. Blink Twice was far better, though, in my opinion. You know, if I'm comparing those two. I also saw Alien. I didn't see that
Okay.
one, you know, with Kim, but
No.
I think we've only gone for those 2 movies.
It's just 2? I thought it was 3.
Yeah, I think it was
you
just
know what?
2.
She saw a movie.
She saw
it was
one with
just
Omar.
her and Omar.
They saw Twisters,
Right.
and
And then
they went the same day that me and Dave saw Deadpool Wolverine.
right.
Yeah.
And then she came home and wanted to watch the original Twister with Bill Paxton, and I fell asleep 20 minutes in. Fell asleep. And then I woke up as she was going upstairs, and I was like, "Where are you going?" She's like, "You're sleeping. I'm going upstairs." And then she was like, "We didn't watch the movie together. We didn't watch it." And I was like, "What do you mean? I was right there. I saw the beginning. I saw the beginning." And she was like, "But you fell asleep. We didn't watch it." She's right. Don't tell her I said that, but she's right.
She'll see it. We're gonna make this a short.
Yeah.
Tag her in it. What was the other movie I saw? Oh, and then I went to go see Cukoo, which was like another horror movie that had come out not that long ago. I saw that one with Omar and Steve. And actually, what's
Right.
funny was the guy that was sitting right next to me. I think I may have told this.
Yes, you told me.
Yeah,
this.
but he fell asleep and was snoring. Not like really loudly, but just like breathing heavily enough where it was like, oh, this
Where
could
it's
be
annoying.
snoring. No, this
And-
could be considered snoring.
And that was the theater where they sat right next
Right,
to you,
they sat-
and the rest of the theater
was wide open. They
Right.
sat literally right
So,
next to us. Total strangers.
If you're gonna sit next to somebody in a wide open theater where it's individual seating,
yeah, like I just don't get
don't
that.
fall asleep.
Yeah. I'll never understand that. I feel like the same rule that exists in men's room, like
Yes.
the etiquette,
Hold on though. I always look at it that way.
right?
Like,
There should
if
just
I
be a
can
space between.
not sit next to somebody, I will do that.
Yeah. I feel like that's an unwritten rule that maybe people in modern day generations or just fucking people who really just don't give a fuck, I guess.
You should have tarred and feathered him.
Yeah. Oh, I wish. Carnival. Oh, man.
That's frustrating.
Yeah.
I would have been
annoying.
so mad.
I
might have said something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because what depends on if I'm in the mood to say something and have confrontation or I'll just deal with it. There is no rhyme or reason. There are just times where it's like, we're going to have confrontation.
Like they had gotten food, or maybe it was just the guy next to me, ordered, like actual food from the theater and woofed it down and probably just went into,
the itis. He had the itis.
Yeah, and just fell asleep, basically.
And the itis is
I get it.
fair thing.
But
It's
you're at a
happened to
movie.
all of us.
Power through it. If Omar
Either-
can power through it, so can you.
Either power through or don't be sitting next to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to listen to you breathe.
Yeah. His buddy stayed
I
awake
don't
the whole
want you to
time, so-
die, but it doesn't mean I want to listen to you breathe. Don't stop breathing.
Yeah. That movie was pretty good too, though, but very very unique and strange twist. Kind of a divisive thing, I think, for that film.
So I haven't seen Deadpool Wolverine. I've also avoided every single spoiler.
Nice. That's a miracle in today's
Well, you know
day
what?
and age.
I'm not really on
social media enough to.
I mean, I'm on it, but I'm not just.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do randomly scroll. I'm on TikTok. I'm on X. Randomly scrolling. I just haven't seen much about the movie, and at this point, I'm sure it's going to come out on streaming platforms in the next month, and I'll just watch it at home.
Oh, yeah. I just noticed last night, I saw that I'm pretty sure Quiet Place Day 1 just came on to Paramount Plus.
Ooh, interested.
So
very much.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited. I've been waiting for that one.
If it's there, I might watch it tonight.
Yeah, so 2024 has been a sick year for horror, though. On top of the movies that I just said that I saw recently, A Quiet Place came out earlier this year. Abigail came out. That one's on Peacock. Dude, that movie was really good. And Dan Stevens was in that one too, and he's the main guy in Cuckoo. He's been in a bunch of different horror movies over the years, but.
Well, like I had said to you at the brewery, I feel like we're getting some bigger names cast in some of these horror movies.
Yeah.
Right? Usually you're run-of-the-mill. And run-of-the-mill, I'm not saying that as you're just standard horror film. But that's kind of what I mean.
Using
so maybe
it a
I am
loosely.
using it that way. Who knows? I don't know, clearly. But your regular horror film has a small budget. We're talking $2 million, maybe. And maybe there's a B-list actor, actress in it. Where it's oh yeah, I saw them in this other thing. Now this is their lead. Whereas this year we have Josh Hartnett, who I know he's done a bunch of shit since Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is the first thing he's done since Pearl Harbor. I feel like it's been 2 decades.
Yeah.
You have Josh Hartnett fronting a horror film. You have Channing Tatum in Blink Twice, which Kim said it wasn't really horror. She said it was more thriller, mystery.
It's more like a thriller mystery, but but you could technically classify it as horror, I guess, because there's murder and stuff like that going on. You know what I mean?
And there's,
if you watch the movie, you'll
based on
see.
what I was told, there's the aspect of the viewer doesn't know.
There's also, unless you're, because you could be considering it psychological horror.
Well,
yeah,
it depends on a lot.
Yeah,
but to me, it fits the mold, right? And Kim told me the ending as well.
Yeah,
which is it's very interesting. I gotta see it. I'll see it when it comes out on.
I'm sure it'll be on streaming. Before you know it.
For me,
maybe you can watch it when you get that free subscription for
From
season 3 coming out September 25th.
For From. Listen,
I know what I'm doing the next day.
So you got me caught on From. So what happened is, like last year, Corey was like, "Hey, there's this cool show. It's called From."
I've talked about it on the podcast.
We watched 2 episodes at my house, me, you, and Kim, and then you were like, "Yeah, the rest of season 1's on MGM Plus." And I was like, well, "I'm not paying for that shit. I'll just wait until it's up for free on Amazon Prime, which is where it started."
Luckily, they do it pretty often. I think to try to, get people to join, especially because they absorbed or, bought MGM, basically.
Right. Clearly wanting to keep it a separate platform. I guess maybe it's more revenue. Who knows?
Probably. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the mindset is, but.
About, what was that, a few weeks ago, Corey texted me and was like, "Hey, From season 1 on Amazon
Prime, yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to check it out.
Don't know how long. Caught it early this time.
Watched all 10 episodes because I had to rewatch the first couple, right? Cause
just to get
I
a
remembered
refresher.
the basis, but there was a lot of little details here and there that went out the window.
Because you start to build like the relationships too for the characters in the first couple episodes, and
and there's
some important things happen.
What's her name? Is her name Sarah or is her real name Sarah? I don't know.
Who, the mom?
No, not the mom.
Oh, the paramedic?
No, not her. We've
talked.
We're not going to talk about the awful medicine that exists in that fucking
She's hot,
show.
though, so.
Well, her medicine's terrible, so she'll kill you while you look at her. How about that?
I don't care about the medicine.
I can't remember her name. She's the blonde girl that leaves the door open to the clinic.
Oh,
that kills the driver of the first car.
Right. I think it is Sarah.
It might be Sarah.
Yeah.
I forgot that she did that.
Yeah.
So when I watched that, I was like, "What a bitch!" She killed people.
And
then you find out that she's doing it on
right?
purpose. Yeah.
And then she also does the other thing to that guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So you would need to rewatch because that's like a major event.
Right.
That happens early.
That is very important to the entire season.
Yeah.
And is a huge factor in that season finale.
Yeah.
So Corey gets me on this show. I watched season 1. Very good. Would recommend. Season 2 is only available on MGM Plus as of now.
Yep.
I'm waiting to see if season
Hopefully
2 becomes
September,
available on Prime.
Yeah, maybe they'll incentivize.
September 1st is in 4 days. Maybe.
Should be Sunday. Because my birthday's Friday.
Right.
And then the 31st is Saturday, which means Sunday, yeah.
It's usually September 1st.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's usually
Unless
how
we're getting
works.
an extra day that, I wasn't informed.
Oh, no. Different leap year, maybe. But I'm excited to eventually watch season 2 of From.
Yeah.
Because
for people who like Lost,
the finale,
especially with a nice horror twist.
The finale kind of starts to tie in questions that you have probably from episode 1, in all honesty.
Yeah.
But gives you like a million more questions because things happen where you're just like, I don't know. And there's no way you can know. You can just sit there and speculate.
Yeah. That's kind of the fun of shows like that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, man, like what's going to happen? Like sharing fan theories and all that stuff, speculating with your buddies. It's kind of like how Game of Thrones was, like towards the end. It was like, who's going to kill the Night King?
Right.
Like, who's going to live and die? Let's make brackets and,
I am going to say I did predict Bran. Was not happy that I was right, but I was right. But did not have Arya killing the Night King, especially in like a unspectacular fashion.
Yeah.
And then, if you want to get on fucking House of the Dragon.
Yeah, I guess we could talk about that considering that was, as we said earlier on, in this episode 15, we did talk about the beginning, I think, of House of the Dragon. I think it was the beginning where it was just about to start. Maybe.
Yeah, I think it was just about to start. So I've only seen 2 episodes of season 2.
Yeah.
That's it. But it's just not grabbing me as much as I
Hoped it would.
hoped and kind of expected, right? Because Game of Thrones, the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones is spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
It's spectacular. And the first season, my whole issue with the first season is
Of House of the Dragon.
Yes, with House of the Dragon. Thank you for specifying. Is you start with the main characters, Rhaenyra and Alicent.
Yep. Alicent. Yep.
They're,
Best friends.
14, 13, 12, however old they are, for 3 episodes, right? The main shit happens. Paddy Considine gets sick. Whatever his character's name is. Is he Aegon?
Viserys, right?
Oh, he's Viserys, right.
Yeah. And then the time jump happens.
And then all of a sudden the time jump happens. Now, granted,
That was pretty jarring from a viewer.
it's only supposed
for
to
me.
be like 5 years or some shit.
But they all look
Like,
significantly older.
Rhaenyra, I think, is only supposed to be 19 or 20.
She looks 30.
Well, the actress
Yeah.
is in her 30s, I think.
Yeah.
And the actress for Alicent is of similar age.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's like Olivia Cook.
Yeah, I don't know
She was
exactly
in,
how old she is.
Bates Motel or Bates Hotel or whatever.
They're great. They're great at what they do. Like, they play the characters well. I just feel like
the time
whole,
jump was a little rough though.
It's a little odd. Like, why didn't they just, like, if they wanted to get right, like, I understand. They had a foundation. They wanted to lay the foundation. Viserys
they
is
did
the
fine.
king. He gets some kind of sickness. Probably, what the fuck is
Dragon
that?
scale.
Yes. Right? It's probably that. They don't know what it is. It kills him.
Yeah. Or grayscale.
Oh, grayscale. Yeah.
Yeah.
But why not, instead of just jumping the 2 main characters, because the main characters are Rhaenyra and Alicent.
Yeah, with a little bit of Daemon sprinkled in there.
Yeah, but the king of the realm, Aegon.
There really is sediment in here. You see that?
Yes, I do.
Am I gonna die?
Hopefully not. And if you do,
Grayscale.
preferably not when I'm here.
Grayscale. Slow and painful.
But the main characters are Rhaenyra and Alicent.
Mm-hmm.
Like Aegon, if you know much about the story, or even if you just watch season 2, like, he's very much a false king.
Yeah, season 1 does a good job laying the foundation, like you said. It's like interesting enough, but I wasn't completely sold on it in comparison to Game of Thrones. Like, I just found Game of Thrones more gripping, like, immediately.
There wasn't a minute of wasted television.
Yeah, in Game of Thrones.
In the first 4 seasons. After season 4, we could talk about it.
But yeah, we've kind of talked about it before for House of the Dragon, but it just feels very stretched out a lot, and there are a lot of moments where it's like, this doesn't feel like it matters. It's not really, like, necessarily furthering the character relationships or, like, the connection that the viewer is supposed to have emotionally, like, with everybody. It also is just, like, a lack of really, like, great characters. Like, there's some that you really like Rhaenys is a character that you kind of, like, fall in love with.
Right.
Like, Corlys is, like, kind of up there a little bit for me, but, I don't know. It's like I said, there's just a lack of real connection for me.
I also think that they're not trying to stretch out the seasons too much. And I understand why, right? Because they're telling a story of a civil war. It's very simple, right? King dies.
You know how it's going to go.
They're right. It's going to be a civil war. People are going to die. King dies. There's contention on who's next. Someone takes it. The other person's upset they didn't get it, or they thought they should have, and then they fight about it. Whereas in Game of Thrones, for example, when Jorah kidnaps Tyrion to take him to, I think, Daenerys, right?
Yeah.
It's 4 or 5 episodes of Jorah and Tyrion going.
They fight the grayscale people.
Yeah, they're in
the boat.
Right. What's the name of that? They're in Valyria.
Yeah.
They're in Valyria. They see one of the dragons fly over, and then one of the grayscale guys drops from the mountain.
Yep.
And then they fight the guys with grayscale. Jorah gets exposed. And then he eventually brings Tyrion to Daenerys a few episodes later.
Yep.
And then a couple episodes after that, they notice the grayscale, and she's like, go get fixed.
Yeah.
And then
Go figure it out.
Sam Tarly does his thing.
Yeah.
But that is the whole thing is in House of the Dragon, they're like, we're going to go to Dragonstone. And then 2 scenes later, they're in fucking Dragonstone. It's like, all right, I understand they have dragons, but shit, doesn't it take a little bit of time to fly?
Yeah. Yeah, season 2 was okay. There was that episode we had talked about it previously.
I stopped before that episode that you're about to talk about.
Yeah, like the episode that's supposed to be the best Game of Thrones or that universe episode ever with the most action and all this stuff, the most like CG and stuff like that because it's all dragons
it's
fighting.
It's just people
and war.
freaking out about dragons. But while the dragons should be like tertiary, the story should be number one.
Mm-hmm.
Story's number one. Characters, characters are 2. And then, like, the fucking magic and all that shit should be number 3. Like, there are very few people who watch Game of Thrones who are like, yeah, I'm just watching this for Valerian.
I'm in it for the lore.
Right.
That's all I care about. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it was fine, that episode specifically, but I don't think it compares to like the Battle of the Bastards and stuff like that. Like even the shitty season, what was it, season 9 was the last one? The giant war. Like even that episode, like I get it. People hated the outcomes and stuff like that. It was very dark and stuff like that, but I don't think
the lighting wasn't great.
Yeah, but I just don't think that it's better necessarily because there's dragons and stuff. And I think it all ultimately boils down to I'm not emotionally invested enough in these characters after 2 seasons that I was in the characters that I watched for 9 seasons.
Right.
And felt powerful.
Well, also it's like the deaths, if you think of season 1 deaths of Game of Thrones, right? In the first episode, they kill a kid that came from the wall.
Yeah.
Right? They kill that kid, but that was important because you learned if you run away from the wall, you get killed. You also learn who Ned Stark is.
Yeah.
You learn, he says, like, this is what is important of, like, being a leader. And then he dies at the end of season 1, and it was
I was going to say that is, like, impactful enough by itself. Like, if nobody else died, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like, Ned?
Right.
Yeah.
But even then, he lasted 9 episodes, or I think it was 9th episode they kill him in.
Probably. That's usually how it works in that universe.
His death was such a big deal. Such a big deal.
Should have seen it coming.
Where
Sean Bean dies and everything.
Well, he does. In most things. Most important things, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, is it the 2nd episode of season 2 where the Night's Watch guy who has the twin, they fight each other?
Oh, yeah. Ugh.
And while it's like
so frustrating,
right? They fight each other. One kills the other, and then you don't know who he is, but then he kills himself because he can't live with killing his brother.
Yep.
And it's like, I understand it, but it's like, okay, like did it matter that much to the story? Absolutely not.
Nope.
Did I care anything about that Night's Watchman or his brother? No. Just a character that died.
Yeah, it was just annoying. I just found it annoying because it was like, it seemed like, okay, we're going to make them like maybe more important to the story, considering, there's, like I said, there's not really like a whole bunch of characters, but it was like, okay, they're like important enough, they thought, to just kill them off and have it,
Oh,
so.
God.
But yeah, I mean, season 2 again is like a big stage setter. You get the action-packed episode like I referred to earlier, and it's fine. The season ends off the way you would think it probably would, with a giant setup episode for season 3.
Like all finales
for
that realm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 9's the action-packed, and then 10 is the setup, or, whatever.
Right.
Because I think this one actually only had like 8 episodes or 9 episodes, as opposed to 10. So.
And they're only doing 4 seasons apparently. So
yeah, and
I guess that's next season is the craziness. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean that's what we said like immediately after season 2 was over. I was like, this show can't go past 4 seasons. Like, there's just no way. I can't imagine still being compelled after all that time.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So that's House of Dragon in a nutshell.
So that was Game of Thrones / House
of the Dragon in a nutshell. Yeah.
I would say I have been listening and ready for this Hoodie Allen / Connor Price EP.
Agreed.
I believe we are getting 5 songs.
Yes. I forgot what day we ended up like hanging out, and I had come home and I saw that short on YouTube that you had sent to me on TikTok of them being like, we're making the 5-song EP or whatever, the buddy system. And I was just like, oh man, I got to send this immediately because I just thought that was so great, especially considering Hoodie Allen's been on the up and up.
Yes. They've put out 2 songs. One was Runaway. Do you remember what the other one was? Oh, Benjamin Button. Hey.
Got
nice
it.
one.
Nailed it.
They had put out some stuff like last year, and it was okay. Not really what I was looking for from Hoodie Allen.
Yeah,
this stuff seems to be a little more what I'm looking for.
Yeah, we did a react
happier.
for Chirp, which he responded to in the comment section.
I'm glad we didn't say it like anything nasty.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really say anything mean. We were just kind of like, yeah, not really feeling this one. And he was just like, hey, guys, thanks for the feedback, if I'm remembering
I
correctly.
hope so.
Basically,
I hope it was
that
cordial.
Yeah.
But the stuff they're putting out now is more what I'm interested in.
Yeah, we've heard a little tease of it. So,
Yeah,
or at least I have. So I'm looking forward to that.
I've heard Runaway in full. Benjamin Button, I'm not sure that I have, but it sounds good. So
I'm excited.
I'm interested.
Yeah, I know we said we might do some reacts for that. So
be
on the lookout.
I can do.
Be on the lookout, y'all.
He's got a show in October here, but it's somewhere in New York. The city, I mean. Somewhere in the city, like east of Gramercy and Irving,
Ooh.
So we could, if we were to go, which we're not going because I can't go. It's like a Thursday or Friday or something. It's a train and a subway and then like a 10-minute walk. It's like 4 or 5, 6 blocks, something like that.
Jeez.
I forgot
We're past those days.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just don't really do that anymore.
You want to come to Long Island, then Hoodie, we might be there. But
yeah, come to the Paramount, dude.
Yeah.
What's the
that would be
problem?
sick.
That would be really sick. That's in our backyard.
But yeah, so that EP, there are 2 songs in. I think we're getting 5, which I am interested to hear.
Me too.
The 2 have been good, so I'm interested in the other 3. If it follows in that same vein, I think they'll be good.
We shall see. We shall see. The buddy system, baby. That's what it's all about.
Exactly. And other than that, we usually talk sports, but there's not much going on.
There's
other
not really
than
anything
baseball.
going on.
Football starting next week. The Jets still suck. The Giants suck, so there's not much to talk about.
Not too much going on as far as acquisitions and stuff like that with the Rangers. We saw everything that's already happened with them.
Hockey, I think that's mid-October, right?
Yeah,
preseason.
Preseason should be starting. Basically like almost the end of September, like halfway through maybe. I don't know when training camp's open, but like I don't really care to follow. It's just like just call me when the preseason and the regular season is getting ready, and I'll be there.
Yeah. So other than that, I'm good.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much all we got for today's episode. Looks like we're sitting at just about 55 minutes from what I can tell.
Yeah, that's perfect. Minus the couple minutes we took to use the bathroom, which will be cut out.
We'll call it 50 minutes.
Yeah.
So anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We pretty much finished these in the course of the episode, but if you have a cold one, cheers to you.
Cheers.
Thank you so much for watching/listening, and we'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.
Taste the brew, join the crew.
We out.